Hello, everyone. As we know, we have been studying about the chapter stress distribution in soil or vertical stresses below applied loads. So in this chapter, we have already completed many topics like point load formula developed by the Bosniski and Westergaard. We have also talked about how we can draw the vertical distribution diagram on the horizontal plane and vertical plane. And what do you mean by the stress isobar, which is also called as pressure bulb? We have also talked about the line load formula, how we can calculate the vertical stress at certain depth below the line load. We have also talked about the steep load and circular load. When circular footing is loaded uniformly, so in that case, how we can determine the vertical stress below the circular footing, right? So today we shall talk about the another topic, that is uniformly loaded rectangular area or corner. It is also called as corner stress formula. You can see the more common shape of a loaded area in foundation engineering is rectangle, or especially in case of building. You can see this is the column footing, right? This is a column footing. This is also a column footing, right? So here, this you can see this diagram. The length of the footing is L and width of the footing is capital B. We want to find out the vertical stress at the corner of the footing, right? That is here you can see we have to find out the sigma z vertical stress at the point P, which exists at depth Z, right? So here also you can see these figures. If you want to find out the vertical stress below the base of this footing at certain depth, right? At any corner, we can use this formula, right? This is also a column footing. Here also, suppose this slab is also the rectangular area is going to be uploaded by some uniformly distributed load. So in this case also, we can find out the vertical stress at the corner. Now, inform load on a rectangular area based on Bosniski theory. Newmark derived an expression for the vertical stress at a point below the corner of a rectangular area. This is the rectangular area where Q is the load per unit area, right? Which may be kilonewton per meter square or ton per meter square. So what Newmark did based on the Bosniski theory, what it has been written, at a point below the corner of a rectangular area loaded uniformly, by integrating a line load over a rectangular area, Newmark derived the following equation for the vertical stress below the corner of the uniformly loaded rectangular area. So as I have shown you this example, the example of the footing, right? This is also a column footing. The bottom part of the foundation is called as footing. So at any corner below the base of the footing, at any depth, we can calculate the vertical stress using the formula. Now we can see the formula. Sigma z is equal to Q into 1 by 4 pi. In bracket, you can see the very many, a long equation is given. So M and N in this equation, once you know the value of M, N, and Q, we can calculate the vertical stress at the corner of the rectangular footing at any depth, right? So you can see here M, what is M? M is equal to L by Z, where L is the length of the footing, Z is the depth at which you want to find out the vertical stress. Similarly, N is equal to B by Z. B is the width of the footing and Z is the depth at which you want to find out the vertical stress, right? So L and B, as I told you, it is the length and width of the loaded area or rectangular footing. So this formula we can use to calculate the vertical stress at depth Z, right? At depth Z of the corner of a rectangular footing. So this is the formula derived by the Newmark. Now we shall see the next topic. Vertical stress below loaded areas of irregular shape, or this is also called as Newmark chart or Newmark influence chart. What it says here, when the foundation consists of a large number of footings, or when the loaded rafts are not regular in shape, for such cases, Newmark influence charts are extremely useful. Actually, we shall see how Newmark developed the chart, influence chart, and that chart can be utilized to determine or to assess the vertical stress below the base of the footing, right? Which is irregular in shape, right? So you can see, based on the equation of uniformly loaded circular area, we have already studied what is the formula for the uniformly loaded circular area. You can see this is the formula, sigma z is equal to q into 1 minus 1 by 1 plus r by z whole square to the power 3 by 2, right? R is the radial distance and z is the depth at which you want to find out the vertical stress. Q is the uniformly distributed load, which may be any unit, kilonewton per meter square or ton per meter square, whatever it may be there. So Newmark used this formula to prepare the chart, influence chart. So you can see here, Newmark developed influence chart to compute the vertical stress due to a loaded area of any shape. As you see, irregular shape. Any shape may be there, whether it is the irregular or geometric or any shape you can say, below any point, either inside or outside the loaded area. So at any point, not only below the base of the footing, but also beyond the area of the footing, we can find out the vertical stress using the Newmark influence chart. Either that's why it is written there, either inside or outside the loaded area. We can calculate the vertical stress below the irregular shape of the footing using the Newmark influence chart. Let us see how the Newmark has prepared the chart. We can see what he has done. He has definitely used the uniformly loaded circular footing formula. So let a uniformly loaded circular area of radius R1 be divided. You can see this circle, the solid line circle. It has been divided into 20 sectors, okay? And R1 is the radius. You can see this OBC and B dash C dash. These are called as area units. This is also area unit. This is also area unit. So once you are going to divide in 20 sectors, definitely one sector will be 18 degree, because the total this angle will be 360 degree. So 360 divided by 20 will be 18 degree. Now we can see, if Q is the intensity of loading and sigma z is the vertical stress at depth z below the center of the circular area, each area unit such as OBC produces a stress equal to sigma z by 20. Why, how? Because you can see this sector, this sector, 20 sectors are there. So if the total this total area is going to provide or produce the vertical stress at depth z, sigma z. So for one sector, we can divide sigma z by 20, because we are discussing here for OBC. OBC means this one sector, sector 1, sector 2, sector 3. Likewise, it has been divided into 20 sector. So we are talking about the inside circle, which radius is R1. So now we can see we can use the equation of a circular area. So this equation already we have seen in the previous slide. So what we are going to do, this sigma z, the east sector is going to produce the vertical stress, which will be equal to sigma z by 20. So we shall divide by 20 on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side for one sector. So what Newmark has said here, what he says, let the right hand side of the equation 1, this is the right hand side, right part, and this is the left part, be equated to an arbitrary fixed value, say 0.005 Q. Q is the load per unit area. So what he says that we can choose any value 0.005 Q, which will be equal to the right hand side of this equation. So we can see, if we are going to equate the right hand side, this will become like this. Equation 2 will be like this. So if you are going to solve this equation, we can get R1 by Z is equal to 0.270. This is R1. Z is the depth at which we want to find out the vertical stress. So what it says that if a circle is drawn with a radius of R1 equal to 0.270, okay, if you are going to draw these circles using the R1 is equal to 0.27 into Z, the area divided into 20 area units. Each area unit will produce a vertical stress equal to 0.005 Q at depth Z centimeter below the center. Z centimeter or Z meter, whatever it may be there. Okay. So the arbitrary fixed fraction is called as 0.005 is called as influence values. Now let us talk about the second circle, which has been made by the dotted line. Let a second concentric circle of radius R2. You can see we are going to draw the circle R having the radius R2, this dotted circle. So how we can draw? Once we shall know the values of R2, then we can draw the circle, right? So second concentric circle of radius R2 be drawn and be divided into 20 area units by extending the various radii of the first circle. So if you are going to extend the OBC by BB dash and CC dash, we can get the R2, right? So each area unit BB dash and CC dash, we can see that the second circle is bounded. This is the second circle is bounded by two radii. What are the two radii? BB dash and CC dash, and two arcs means BC and B dash C. These are the arc. So it is bounded by this two radii and two arc. This area. This is also area unit, right? For the second circle. So now let each area unit of second circle also produce a here we are going. He has also assumed. Let each area unit of second circle also produce a vertical stress of 0.05 Q at depth Z centimeter below the center. Because by taking the center, the Newmark has drawn this circle. The total stress due to the area unit OBC and BB dash C dash C at depth Z below the center will be equal to 2 into 0.005 Q. That means what? Why it is going to become 2? Because OBC is equal to 0.005 Q and BB dash C is also equal to 0.005 Q. So OB dash C dash will be equal to 2 multiplied by 0.005 Q, right? So what we can write here? Now we can see now vertical stress due to OB dash C dash, we can write this right hand side of the equation is equal to 2 times of 0.005 Q. because we are going to take O, B dash, C dash, which is equal to these values. So once you are going to solve this equation, we can get the values R2 by Z is equal to 0.04. That means if you are going to draw the circle having the radius R2, in that case, what we can find, each of its area units will also produce a vertical stress of 0.005 Q at depth Z below the center. Proceeding in the same way, how we have drawn the circle R1 and then R2, likewise, we can also draw the circle, third circle, fourth circle, fifth circle, sixth circle, seventh, eighth, ninth, right? Concentric circles we can draw. The equation gone by the radius of the 10th circle, we can write like this way, okay? So what Newmark says from the above equation, he has considered R10 is infinity. Thus, 10th circle lies at infinity and cannot be drawn. The Newmark has said that the 10th circle lies at the infinity. So first to 9th circle and the 10th circle lies at infinity, like that he has said. So now we shall see further. You can see this table, how we can draw the concentric circle, R1, R2, R3, if you know. So we can see this is nothing but the first circle, second circle. This will be R1 by Z, R2 by Z, R3 by Z, R4 by Z, R5 by Z. So R1, R2, R3 is going to change because Z will remain fixed, at which you want to find out the vertical stress. Now we can see the operation or use of the Newmark chart. How we can use the Newmark chart for the irregular shape of a structure. That means if any irregular, if the structure is irregular, that means footing will also be irregular. So how we can find out the vertical stress due to the irregular shape of the footing, right? Using the Newmark influence chart. This is the Newmark influence chart which has been drawn. So what we have to do to find out the vertical stress of a irregular shape, we have to use this chart and then we have to calculate. So what is the procedures? Let us see. First, the plan of the loaded area. Whatever the loaded area irregular shape is there, you can see here the loaded area, the building plan has been shown. The footing plan of any structure has been shown here by the dotted line, right? So what it says that first, the plan of the loaded area is drawn on a tracing paper to such a scale that the length of line ON on the chart is equal to depth where vertical stress is required. What does it mean? You can see ON on the chart, on the Newmark chart, influence chart, ON has been given 5 centimeter, right? So we have to use this 5 centimeter as well as at what depth you want to find out the vertical stress. Both values we have to use to make one scale, to prepare one scale, and that scale has to be used to draw the plan of the footing, okay? For example, if the vertical stress you want to know at 5 meter depth, okay, for the irregular shape of a footing. So in that case, what we shall do? And this sense the length of ON is also 5 centimeter on this chart. Then how we can finalize the scale? The scale 5 centimeter will be equal to 5 meter because this at this depth you want to find out. These things is written here, actually you can see. So 5 centimeter equal to 5 meter. That means 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. So we have to prepare the plan of the footing of having the irregular shape using this scale. 1 cm is equal to 1 meter, right? The point at which the vertical stress is desired is then placed over the center of the circle on the chart. You can see this is the chart. So what we have to do? We have already plotted the plan of the footing using this scale on the tracing paper. So that tracing paper we shall superimpose on this chart, and suppose you want to find out at any point, either within this either within this area of the structure, footing, I'm talking about the footing area of the structure, or beyond the structures, wherever you want to find out the vertical stress, that point has to be superimposed at the center of this Newmark's chart, right? That is the meaning. So then what we have to do, the N is the number of influence areas or blocks. You can see these are called as blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 blocks are there. These are called as blocks. These are called as blocks. So you can see this dotted line. So this dotted lines, this is the actually plan on which has been drawn on the tracing paper for irregular shape of the structure. So what we have to do, we have to count the blocks. 1, 2, 3. How many blocks are going to lie in the area of this dotted line, right? Or the in the area of the plan. So we shall count the block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like that we shall count. So after count, that will be that will give the values of n, right? So how we can calculate the how we can calculate the point vertical stress at 5 meter depth? For that we shall use this formula. So sigma z is equal to n. N is the number of blocks which you have counted, and that blocks lies in the area of the structure, right? In the area of the irregular shape of the footing. So in this area, whatever the blocks are there, that blocks we have to count. And Q is the uniformly distributed load working on the footing, and influence values 0.005 we have to take here. So and then we can calculate sigma z. The primary advantage is that it can be used for loaded area of any shape. Any shape we can use for any shape. This chart can be used to calculate the vertical stress below the base of the footing. Now we shall see one example. This is numerical so that we can understand in a clear way. A raft foundation of this size, as shown in the figure, carries a uniformly distributed load of 300 kilonewton per meter. So this is the value of Q, a small q. Estimate the vertical pressure at a depth 9 meter below the point O marked in the figure. You can see this is the point. This is the irregular shape. You can see the shape of the footing is irregular. And what it says that we have to find out the vertical stress at this point, at point O, at 9 meter depth. So how we have to use the Newmark's influence chart? Let us see. The depth at which sigma z is required is equal to 9 meter. So what we shall do? You can see what scale has been given on this chart. AB has been given 3 centimeter, and we want to find out vertical stress sigma z at 9 meter depth at the point O. So 3 centimeter will be equal to 9 meter. Like that we have to make. So 1 centimeter is equal to 3 meter. So this scale we shall use to draw the plan of irregular shape of the structure on the tracing paper. 1 centimeter is equal to 3 meter. This plan is to be superimposed on the chart with O coinciding with the center of the chart. We can see this is the O point where we want to find out the vertical stress at 9 meter. So this point must coincide the center of the chart. That we have to know, right? The plan is shown by the dotted line. The plan of the structure has been shown by dotted line. So the vertical stress, as I told you in the previous slide, we have to count the blocks. How many blocks are going to lie in the area of the dotted lines? Okay. So you can see these are the blocks here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Likewise, you have to count all the blocks. So once you are going to count the blocks, then shall multiply with the Q and influence value. See, the number of loaded blocks are 62, and influence value is 0.005. So, and Q is also given there. So what we shall do? We shall calculate the values of sigma z, that is equal to n into Q into influence value. So this will be how much? like that we shall calculate, which will be equal to sigma z is equal to 93 kilonewton per meter square. So this is the vertical stress, which we can find out at 9-meter depth, right? At 9-meter depth for this plan at this point, at the point O. So sigma z we can calculate the vertical stress at 9-meter depth using the Newmark's influence chart. So this is all about the today topic. We shall talk about the next topic in the next lecture. So thank you very much.